And I don't know. We're back. Okay, we're going right into this. So we're jumping into Sky Temple. This will also be the pick of Ace.
Interesting. Well, maybe used to be Raven last year doing the exact same move, but didn't really work out as how they planned it. Game 2, I could kind of see, I could kind of guess what they were trying to do, but Game 3, this is one of the best map for KSV Black though.
Yeah.
What are they thinking right now?
Well, it's a tough question to answer. I'm guessing the answer will have something to do with our good friend Falsty, aka Falstad. But I think this is a map where if you're going to try to control the macro and win the early game, it cannot be done through ETC, which is what they've been trying to do in games 1 and 2. Use the ETC to control that early game. And right now, if I think about how they're going to do this, then I think that the ETC is not necessarily an option, and maybe try to use Falstad to make this a draft where they can try to push and control. Like, they've been dominated by Rich's rotations, and even though Rich has actually played a very mediocre Dahaka today, it's been more than they could handle. We'll see Hanzo banned away for the first time here by KSV Black.
Leaves with the new Baroque ban, leaves Genji open, but instead they're going to go with Grey main because they cannot get the Uther pair up with the first ban. So this time, let's see if they get that Uther.
Is this a KCB problem continued? Or is this another plan?
They're happy with Genji only. That leaves me with some
doubts, right? About
big doubts.
Yeah. I feel like when you have Genji alone, the potential damage he could do, the team fighting that he could do. See, this is definitely a hero pool problem. KCB locked in on the Rhaegar. Sure, we saw the Ana from him last game instead. Rhaegar was relegated to his secondary support. But Rhaegar and Genji, make no mistake, they do not synergize together. Right? And
it is not the worst pair, but compared to Uther, like, I gotta give it to Uther. Uther right now having 22 and 9 in Korea. Yeah. The best win rate for support.
Yeah, by quite a large margin. 21% over Stukov at the moment. Jaina and Dahaka coming in here. So, we talked about how Jaina and Greymane don't really pair well together. In terms of what they can do, because one is a burst, one is a sustained damage that has, burst for finisher. Let's see if KSV Black could teach us something here, because it almost feels like they've altered the draft just to challenge what Ace did in the first game with the Greymane Jaina draft. ETC was the tank in that scenario.
I think they can actually bring in Tyrael for KSV Black side and have Jaina, Greymane, take Tyrael along with Dahaka. Banning Uther here, as themselves has picked up Rhaegar solo.
Simple Abathur ban here.
Let's see what they want to pair up with this time. Last time it was with Genji, it was ETC, Ana, Martel.
Yeah. They already know that Rich is going to be the Dahaka solo laner. Malthael matchup went well for them in terms of laning, but in terms of team fighting, the nano boosted Malthael was, I wouldn't say it was a complete failure, but it was certainly left a lot to be desired. And
also the rotation, because they didn't have any global, they were basically Rich was doing free soaking all the time with that Brush Tucker. Maybe you're right, maybe it is time for the Volstad unless they have something else crazy in their hands.
What's really interesting is Gamey has only played one game of ETC before today, so 3 total. He's also played only one game of every hero he's ever played.
Yeah, he's played 10 different heroes.
Yeah, so he's got a large hero pool. Maybe they should use that flexibility and not put him on the ETC and try to have something else happen here, but I get the feeling we're about to see an ETC lock-in. Muradin, though. Okay, this is something different. There's the Li Ming. So the damage is split between the Genji and the Li Ming. A lot of reset potential here for dashes and for calamities coming through. But now, how do you break through what KSV Black's going to put in as their frontliner? They could easily run a Garrosh here. They could also bring in, well, I was going to say they could bring in the Nubark. They cannot in this case, to ban away.
Well, in this case, Ace can just finish it up with a Cassia. I think that's okay against Greymane, all that sustain.
What in the world is this finishing to the draft? Tyrael Malfurion.
Anti-synergy. I'm okay with Tyrael, but Malfurion.
Yeah, Malfurion, I'm not sure about this. I mean, cooldown reduction, sure, I'm all for it, but
Maybe just with the Twilight Dream to put pressure against Genji coming in. I think that's what we're looking at.
I mean, I
providing
guess, yeah.
some more CC with that root.
I think it's going to be like similar to what we saw last game. It's going to be the Dahaka grab into a root, into Jaina blows him up with Greymane. I think that's the idea with this. It's an anti-Genji pick. I think you're completely right. I didn't see it at first, but I think you are correct, G-Clef. Obviously, cooldown reduction in mana for Jaina is very powerful.
So here's the thing for Ace. If they bring Cassia, which game he played before, which he's on Muradin already. So it's going to be overlap between himself, unless someone else plays Cassia or Muradin. So they are really having this draft into a hero.
They need a soul laner, and it's going to be Blaze in this case.
Let's see if Rush, maybe Hero this case. I don't know who's going to play. Who's going to be played? Maybe Witcher.
The problem with Malfurion in this case, now that Blaze is the final hero, the soul laner here, unless they like do something totally crazy and have like Rhaegar soul lane, which would be just bonkers and bad. The problem for MVP, or I keep saying MVP, I'm so sorry guys, KSV. It's even 3 letters, it's almost the same. The problem for KSV is that the healing of Malfurion will not save them if a squishy target gets caught by Blaze or Muradin stuns, and then Dragon Blades are going, or Li Ming is getting resets. The heal is too slow for the burst damage of Li Ming, that's what I'm concerned about. But if they are the ones controlling, getting the first picks through those CCs, they'll be fine. And this is a snowballing map, so if the early game goes badly for KSV, I think Ace is going to have a decent time with this draft, G-Clef.
Yep, and also Holy Ground available at 13 now. That boss control can be coming in so much earlier, 3 levels earlier.
So that doubles or halves the cooldowns of all the abilities during that moment. That is the only level 1 talent we have seen in Korea for Blaze. We rush on the hero in this case. No surprises for heroes on the side of KSV Black. Rich will yet again be on the Dahaka. Does not use Brush Talk this time, actually wants to save it. Gonna walk in blind. Normally Rich will Brush Talk for Watchtower control. So saving it in this case, playing a little bit more conservatively already. Sake at the front here, man. Bravest Jaina in the land. We get to see Sake on Jaina again in 2018. It's been 3 years, it feels like.
Yes, exactly 3 years almost.
Very exciting times we live in. Jaina is meta and has the highest win rate upon all DPSs in Korea. Not highest involvement, that still belongs to Hanzo, and his win rate may continue to climb.
Hanzo Genji. Sonya is actually declining hard. Just went through both of the drafts. All the draft actually today. Sonya not really making her appearance at all.
Okay, the thing, we're going to see a lot of Dahaka.
Yep.
The powerful soul laner. Malthael. Once Malthael's nerfs come through too, like, I hate to say it, and I'm, you know, it's one of my favorite parts of Heroes of the Storm, but soul laning as we know it may actually disappear. It may go back to like split pushers. No, non-tanks could be like Sylvanas versus Falstad soul lanes again.
Oh, that's exciting to hear. Maybe, or maybe we're just gonna have Dahaka versus Leoric all the time.
Like once they nerf Dahaka, I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, what is a soul laner? Like, who is gonna go up there?
Zagara.
Yeah, I mean, it could.
We may actually see some specialists coming up.
We might actually see top laners be squishy DPSs and not tanks. That could be happening in the future with all these nerfs coming through. We don't know yet. That's in pro play. It's a long way away.
Yeah, and just in case you don't know the score, we zoomed it up for you.
That's right.
Just in case if you're not sure about the score.
If you're not sure about Jaina Malfurion's talents, sorry, I didn't check. Like, okay, there you go. Well, we just saw trades here in terms of the pushing. We didn't talk about this too much. We were talking about future metas and what might happen and all sorts of other ambiguous stuff. Rush is definitely dead. Nicely played here by Reset. Will he trade it? I don't think so. The minions are tanking the cannon tower, so he's actually getting a lot of damage done. Gets out as they get the wall, and he gets away.
Yep, that's the Malfurion sustain coming in.
So this is obviously because KSV Black is finding more success here now, and they got the kill, and they're getting this healing fountain. It's good for them. Now, had Ace gotten the healing fountain bottom, this would have been still better for Ace, but they didn't get it. They failed to get it. They lost experience mid, they lost a member, and the support is now in trouble. And Ace has, even though they had a great start to this, they, I guess you could say, chickened out, and then they lost a member top lane, and this is just snowballing away from them now. KSV Black is very happy with this. Gamey Looks for the flank. Stormbolt's not as impressive as his power slides tonight.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need. They needed the poking from Li Ming. Li Ming was away for this entire time, so there was no reason for Black to really back out because there's no poke coming out from Genji. Oh, Shurikens barely do any damage against all the sustain. So they basically got the free fort already, almost leading an entire level. Let's see how much more damage they want to go in here.
Well, going to poke a little bit here with the cocktail, but not willing to commit. Gamey's just going to get his passive healing up. Second wind.
But they're winning already with extra soak from the bot lane.
And top lane. Greymane and Dahaka. While they just poked this. And this is the second time that Ace has had an objective control, but has failed to split off.
I think this all comes from experience, you know, just putting resources perfectly in each lane, having the objective as Dahaka comes here now, looking for a kill on Li Ming. Gets that drag. There's damage coming up from Greymane. There's a root.
Hero is so low. Rush gonna peel for him.
Cocktail.
Yep. Still not enough damage though. Material shields I think actually saved her. Kind of an overextension here from KSV Black as they got a little bit angry. It feels that they didn't get that kill. Well, you talk about splitting off. When you look at KSV Black, when they have a lead like this, which you know they just did by strong mechanical play, when you have control of the shrine, you can poke and split off. They have two fantastic herbs for soaking. They have Greymane and they have Dahaka, so they can just send those to push at a crazy fast rate, get that extra soak. In Ace's case, they could split Rhaegar off and maybe Blaze, but not really either heroes having the same kind of pushing power that a Greymane or a Dahaka has, you know, in terms of soaking. So tougher call there in terms of composition as well, which is why Greymane is so high priority. He clears so fast, he pushes fast, he's got great damage. He's just an over-tuned hero, and it took everyone a long time to realize what that means in this meta, and everyone's like, wait a minute, there's not a better DPS. Follow might have been better when double support was a thing, but that's not the thing.
It took a long time. Early last year, Greymane was one of the middle last picks, or after the second ban phase. Came up a little bit, maybe second pick priority. Now he's in top one. I don't think it's that Greymane got any buffs or any changes. It's just that lots of the other DPS got big nerfs over time, and Greymane is surviving up there.
And, you know, not even the other DPSs, but Ariel's nerf changed the way we look at double support forever. And so, you don't have double support, you get double DPS. When you have two DPSs, that Greymane is always going to be the best one in terms of what he offers, not in team fights, but outside of team fights, and because he's still good at team fighting. You compare him to Li Ming, they're both about equally good in a team fight, right, if used correctly with their kits. But Li Ming can't camp. Li Ming can't push a wave. Li Ming can't siege behind walls. Greymane can do all those things and is great in team fights, so Greymane's always going to win out every time.
Does he not have the toss?
I don't think so. Either that was interrupted. They did get, I suppose, the
I think they were
the
ones actually coming in because it was a 4v fight for a second, but it was against level 10, so there was no way of winning that.
Yeah, I mean, Blaze was top. Transcendence, or sorry, Tranquility. My Overwatch bleeding through. But Tranquility, the heroic of choice again here from Valkyrie. I think it's 100% pick rate in Korea now, if I'm not mistaken. I'm seeing only Tranquility, which at first seemed like a niche pick, but starting to feel a little bit more the standard here.
Getting a temple shot plus the sport and the boss going towards the keep. It will actually destroy the keep wall.
Yeah,
at least.
Ace is going to have 10 right before this. They need to be hearthing home already. Rush has the right idea. Everyone else is very slow on this. Like, insanely slow. Oh my god, is Rush going to get interrupted? Okay, no, there was a minion there. I didn't see it. I was like, oh my, they're in real trouble.
Bunker was buffed actually in this patch?
Yeah. We're not talking about the plus 10 health or plus 5 health.
Plus 5, no. Yeah. That's the old
That was the last
buff.
patch, yeah.
I don't know if we can actually call that buff.
The bunker is obviously going to be very useful in this team comp, especially when Greymane and Dahaka are trying to go in.
Once you go in and out, you also get that armor boost on yourself. So it can actually help when KSV Black is trying to dive in like Greymane. Jaina, when the burst damage is coming in, you can actually go in and dodge all that damage and then come out.
His other heroic, the Combustion, was slightly nerfed in terms of its execution because you can't activate it as quickly anymore, even though that was supposed to be a quality of life change.
0.5 seconds.
But to me, like, that has actually affected my Blaze play because sometimes I want to make that snap combustion and I can't hit it as fast as I would like to. So I personally don't like it, because I never accidentally press the button twice, personally, but that's just me. Alright, grab comes through. This is a risky time to be taking a camp. They do have the bunker, but only Blaze can get in it. Gamey trying to peel here. A lot of damage going down. Dragon Blade's still available. Might be the time to use it, but
available, but too low in HP. I don't think he can go in. If he goes in, he will die along with his teammates.
Hero is so dead.
Ancestral does connect, but does he speed
the roots. Cleanse not even enough. Too slow. Gamey doesn't have that Ancestral for him anymore. He's going to go down. This may just simply be game, set, and match as KSV Black push down here onto this keep. Going to walk away. Not going to risk it. Still low death timers. We're talking about a sub 9-minute game that KSV Black could have decided to commit to the core there. So just going to play it safe. They already lost a fort, you know. They're away from a perfect game, so anything else would be further away.
Yeah, as Genji was trying to poke in, Witcher's HP was way too low for himself to engage. He could have just used the Dragon Blade and be erased off the map as soon as he went in with the E. Peel from Rush. They didn't really contest here, as Sanctification is still available from Black. This seems like the perfect spot for it too.
Okay, we have a really nice bunker placement here, saving everyone as low.
Sanctification actually cancelled.
Oh
but
man,
the Root is way too good. There's a Dragon Blade. Actually, Witcher getting a kill.
Oh, this is just disgusting. Witcher survives here, but he's targeted by this water elemental, and he's just simply not going to be able to make it through. A few close calls for these Dragon Blades in this series, but just not enough. That position for that fight was everything that Black wanted, literally. Sank being interrupted was the first saving grace for Ace to maybe be able to turn something, maybe make something happen, as Rich is trying to 2v1 and will succeed because minions exist, and I think the Ace members forgot about that.
2v1
plus minions. That wasn't really fair.
I guess.
Minions got the kills both times. He didn't get either kill, okay? It's killed by forces of the Nexus, alright?
Assist only.
But yeah, I mean, in that area, taking a fight, what is Ace really trying to accomplish? Even if they were able to get the camp, it wasn't going to save them in this game, and it certainly was higher risk than it was reward. If they lose the camp too, they could deal with it. So taking that fight against this team that has Sanctification and Tranquility potentially there in those choke points. I get the idea was to use the bunker, but the Root on top of the bunker after the bunker was burst, when nobody could move. Black has, I feel like, dealt with this bunker play 1,000 times. So everyone knows Rich's new go-to favorite hero to play. I'm not talking about Maya. I'm talking about before that. Is the Blaze here, and so Black has a extensive knowledge of how to play against Blaze, and that I think is what we witnessed there with the bunker just instantly being rooted.
There you go. They're engaging in. There's Ice Block.
Perfect Ice Block. The Sank is great as well, and bunker is just buying time. The Root again instantly on top of it. And Rich, 1v3, buying time, staying alive. Stasis is here. He's not going to die. And this is going to be a full team wipe. No casualties. Witcher's got no way out. Protection, I don't think so. That's the full wipe. Rich doing so much there, 1v3, using his Essence to heal up just enough, knowing they're 3 levels up and scaling, using his Burrow at the last second. Perfect Root on top of the bunker. Black has seen this before. They know how to deal with it.
Big time miscommunication from Ace. They went in looking for that timing, I guess, but when Dragon Blade was not available. That was the biggest timing when that Ice Block was on. I think that was the time for Genji to do all the Dragon Blade damage, which was on cooldown when they made the engage. I don't exactly know where their calling was coming from. Maybe Genji Witcher did not really call out, my Dragon Blade is on cooldown, guys, but
the thing is too,
can we go in?
The bunker